Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Well, I tell you, let me raise this up. Hold on one second. Hi, we're drifting over here. YouTube, what's up, man? Look, man, I tell you what, we're living in some crazy times, okay? So, anyways, Dan here, the Deplorable truck driver, and yeah, that's gonna be my new name. Is that called a moniker? Is that a moniker? I need to look up into. I need to look up into Monica. The Monica. She became a verb. The Lewinsky. Anyways, so check it out. I woke up this morning, put the national news on, and I hear another teenage girl is getting suspended from school because she had the nerve to complain that a biological boy with a thingamabob hanging between his legs is identifying as a female and is allowed to dress and undress in the girls' locker room. And so she complained, the father got involved, father got suspended, she got suspended, and like all heck is raining down on them. And so, you know, it kind of dawned on me today that we're living in some really sick times. But more so, who's running our schools? All right? I think it's time. And I spoke to the radio station today, one of our local radio stations down here, by a man named Scott Ryfun, R-A-Y-F-U-N. And he's down here in the Brunswick area, Savannah area, and stuff like that in the mornings. And, you know, I spoke about it, and I call him quite often, and he lets me talk pretty much as long as I want. He's really awesome. And, you know, I talked about it, and I said, I want to know what's going on with the school officials that are allowing this to take place. All right, and it's more like, oh, fairness. No, it's not fairness. It's a fetish. All right, when you start, like, bear with me. Don't click out yet. Just bear with me. Think about this. Living vicariously through that boy who's identifying as a female gives the school official the opportunity to live out a fetish, to live out their dream, to live out exposing themselves to young girls. That is a fetish. It's called exhibitionist. Okay? You have voyeur and you have exhibitionists. Voyeurism is people that gawk at others. You know, they stare, they sneak, they spy through windows, they set up hidden cameras, or they lie to get into girls' locker rooms so they can watch young ladies undress. That's voyeurism. Okay? Then you have exhibitionism. And exhibitionism is exposing, is exposing yourself for gratification, some form of a sexual gratification. So one of two things is happening here with these school officials. It's the only explainable answer is they are living their fetish of voyeurism or exhibitionism through the mind of these individuals that want to decide to self-identify as somebody of the opposite sex, such as a teenage boy who thinks that if he tapes his junk between his butt crack and puts on a skirt, he's a girl and he should be afforded all the rights of a female with all the things that they get. Locker rooms, bathrooms, you know, an expectation of privacy females get. So do males. Males also have that same expectation of privacy in their locker rooms, in their bathrooms, in their doctor's offices, and stuff like that. You know, that's why it's illegal to have cameras in certain places without notifying you that, hey, you're under video surveillance. All right? I cannot put a camera in my bathroom or in a guest bedroom without telling you, notifying you, or having a sign that, hey, you're on candid camera, therefore you shall have no expectation of privacy. So a girl in high school has only one option to change her clothes in a locker room where her clothes are hanging, and that's in the locker room. Now, sure, I guess she could carry her clothes in a duffel bag with her and get dressed in the bathroom, but she shouldn't have to do that because some individual, and I won't use words like sick, demented, twisted, or disgusting, I'll just say some individual decides that they're going to tape their junk in their butt crack and put on a skirt. But the point that I'm trying to make is, what sick fetish are we going to find on these school officials' computers that are not only allowing this to take place, but then punishing the female for speaking up during her most sensitive time of her life? I'm sorry, a teenage girl, from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, is an incredibly sensitive time of their lives. They're going through puberty. They're going through their first menstrual cycles, all that sort of stuff. You're going to sit here and tell me that on top of all those stresses and of all those moments that may be embarrassing, and you know what I mean, ladies, there's embarrassing moments, don't wear white jeans when you turn 13 because it's bound to happen, right? So, I'm sure you've been taught all the precautions. You got this self-consciousness that you have to live with, and now you got to add to that a boy with a working penis is going to be next to you in a locker room while you're changing, and if you speak up, you get suspended, and if you speak up and your father comes to your rescue, he gets suspended from his job? No. There's something going on with these school officials, and we need to figure that out. And that's what I spoke to Scott Ryfun about today. We need to start looking into these school officials. We need to start deep diving these people. The people from the Glenn Beck research team, Sean Hannity research team, all these people with their research teams, they need to go into these school officials. I get it. Joe Biden's a scumbag. His son's a piece of shit. I get all that. We need to start figuring out, though, a better use of our research teams. And I think these school officials are going to have some dark-ass shit on their computers. I think we're going to find a history, a pattern of sick, demented behavior. Like the guy that attacked Pelosi, Friday. The guy is a nudist, a Bernie Sanders supporter, Black Lives Matter supporter. He checks the box for all this crap that's going on, all this anti-rules, anti-regulation, all this, anarch crap. Bernie Sanders, come on, man. It was a Bernie Sanders aide that went to the baseball field some years ago and shot up 10 Republican Congress members, right? That was a Bernie Sanders aide that did that. Look, they're sick over there. It's a whole demented, sick side of the house that calls us deplorable. That's why I'm Dan, the deplorable truck driver. But hey, I tell you, we need to start deep diving into these people. We need to get research into these people. We need to know who our school officials are. So, my message to you guys, what are we, 8 minutes into this video? My rant. My message to you guys is, you live in Florida and you're supporting Ron Paul. Okay, great. Or Rand Paul. You're all pro the immigration buses coming from Texas, but yet you live in Washington State, and you read those articles and you put your time and your research and you're debating people on Facebook and Twitter and all that. But do you know who your school officials are? Whether you have kids in school or not, do you know who your school officials are? When you go to the ballot, to the voting box, and you pull the lever, and you have your county commissioner and your city manager, if that's electable. Some cities are appointed. Your city manager is appointed by a board. You have your mayor. You have your school board representatives. You have your Department of Education appointee by the President of the United States. Do you know who those people are? Are you involved with that even a quarter as much as you are involved with world politics? Or, like I said, Texas sending a bus of immigrants to New York. Yeah, we showed Hochul. Oh, yeah, we badasses over here on the right. Meanwhile, your daughter is being forced to shamefully dress in front of a boy, and if she says something, she's going to get suspended, so she doesn't say anything. And you, me, we're none the wiser because we don't even know that that crap's going on. We don't go to PTA meetings. We don't go to school board meetings. We don't go to open house. We don't go to shit. But we know the name of every migrant that got off the bus. In that rich hood that DeSantis sent them people to, Martha's Vineyard, right? We know that. Oh yeah, we know the voting record of Kathy Hochul. We know all about Gretchen Whitmer up there in Michigan, right? We know all that. We know everything that's going on. But we don't know what's going on in our own kids' schools because we're not focused on that. Well, let me tell you something. Our kids are suffering because of what we're doing, what we're not doing, and we're not being active at the local level. So this November 8th, when you go out to vote, and you vote for your local politicians, and you don't know shit about them, you only have you to blame for the shit that's going on. And I'm just as guilty as you. I only recently, in the past about year, 18 months, got active in the local politicians, got active in what our mayor's doing, got wise to what our mayor's doing. And he's a real beaut. I'll tell you that much right now. He is a real beaut. And I'll never vote for him. I didn't vote for him in the first place because I don't actually live in the city. I live in unincorporated, so I can't. And I moved, still not in the city. But it's the largest city next to me. And it affects me in every way, shape, or form. The stores I shop in, the restaurants I go to, the streets I walk on, the streets I jog on sometimes, where I take my family out. And that mayor and the city manager and the chief of police, all that matters. And we don't vote for the chief of police. And we don't vote for the city manager. We vote for the mayor. And we don't even know who the hell we're voting for. And then the mayor appoints those people. And, you know, at the same time, we got school board officials that we vote for and we don't even know anything about. We don't know their history, their background, but we need to. We need to start figuring out what these scumbags have on their computers. And we need to start getting investigators in on that. And that shit needs to start November 9th. So, you know what? Leave a comment below. I don't give a shit about your politics. I don't care if you're left or right. If you can't get behind what I just said today about our kids, then fuck you, because you're the problem. You need to go. And it's a shame there's not a litmus test for voting rights, because there really needs to be. There really does. There really needs to be. There needs to be some form of a minimum amount of IQ points necessary in order to pull the lever for people that have such a say in our children. So anyways, that's today's rant, and I'm Dan, the Deplorable Chucker, out.